Welcome back to Tell Me More Stories Told as podcast. Get ready for a story about power and grace and a whole lot of grand slams because today we're diving deep into the world of Roger Federer. You know him as a tennis legend, but today we're going beyond the trophies and headlines to uncover what made him so extraordinary.
What's fascinating about Federer is that his story isn't just about athletic achievement. It's about self-discovery and resilience and a relentless pursuit of excellence that really resonates far beyond the tennis court.
Okay, so let's start at the beginning. Federer wasn't exactly born holding a Wimbledon trophy, was he?
Not quite. He was born in Basel, Switzerland, to a Swiss father and a South African mother. This actually gave him dual citizenship, a fun fact that hints at the international influence he'd later have. He started playing tennis at the young age of 3, but what's interesting is that his early years weren't all sunshine and victories.
Oh, really? So he wasn't just a natural talent who cruised to the top.
That's where it gets interesting. Federer was initially known for his fiery temper on the court. He struggled with his emotions, even smashing his racket in frustration at times. It's hard to imagine now seeing the composed figure he became.
Oh, wow. That's a side of Federer we rarely hear about. So how did he go from hot-headed junior to the epitome of calm and collected grace we know today?
Well, that transformation is central to his story. Federer's junior years were a crucible, a period where he had to confront his weaknesses and hone not just his skills but his mental game as well. A key part of this was his time as a ball boy at Wimbledon. Imagine that. The tournament he'd go on to dominate, he once served at chasing after stray balls.
Talk about foreshadowing. You can almost picture a young Federer watching the pros and dreaming of his own future on that very court. It seems like Wimbledon was always destined to be a special place for him. So when did he finally make that leap from ball boy to pro player?
Federer turned pro in 1998, but it wasn't until 2003 that his destiny truly unfolded. That year, he won his first major singles title. And yes, it was at Wimbledon. This victory cemented his status as a rising star and signaled the beginning of an incredible journey.
Okay, so he wins Wimbledon. That's huge. But how did he go from rising star to, well, Roger Federer, the legend?
Here's where things get truly remarkable. He didn't just win, he dominated. Federer held the world #1 ranking for an astonishing 237 consecutive weeks, a record that still stands today. To put that in perspective, you're talking about over 4.5 years at the top of the tennis world.
Wow. That's unheard of in almost any sport.
Yeah.
Was it about Federer that allowed him to achieve that level of consistent dominance? I mean, was it just raw talent or was there something more?
It was a combination of factors. Of course, Federer possessed immense natural ability, a potent serve of forehand that could paint lines, and that iconic one-handed backhand that became his signature. But it was more than just his physical gifts. Federer had an almost artistic approach to the game. His movement was fluid, his shots were precise, and he seemed to anticipate his opponent's moves before they even made them.
It's like he was playing chess on the court, always thinking several steps ahead. And those signature shots, his one-handed backhand in particular, did they give him a strategic advantage over his opponents?
Absolutely. In a world of two-handed backhands, Federer's one-hander was a weapon. It allowed him to generate incredible angles and whip winners down the line. It also forced his opponents to adjust their game, playing to his strengths rather than their own.
So he was disrupting the game with a classic, almost old-school approach. It's like he was bringing back a lost art to modern tennis. But he wasn't playing in a vacuum. There were other contenders, right? What about his legendary rivalries with players like Rafael Nadal and Novak Djokovic?
Those rivalries were epic, defining not just Federer's career, but an entire era of tennis. They pushed each other to the limit, producing some of the most thrilling and emotionally charged matches in the history of the sport. It's no coincidence that some of Federer's greatest moments came against these rivals in high-stakes finals on the biggest stages.
You can almost feel the electricity in the air when those three stepped onto the court together. But Federer always seemed to carry himself with such grace, even under immense pressure. Was that something he consciously cultivated, or was it just an inherent part of who he is?
Remember that fiery temper from his junior years. That's the key. Federer's transformation wasn't just about mastering his tennis skills. It was about mastering himself. He learned to channel his emotions, to use them as fuel rather than letting them control him. That's why he could remain so calm in the most heated moments, seemingly unfazed by the weight of expectations.
So he wasn't just playing against his opponents, he was battling his own inner demons. It makes his achievements even more impressive, wouldn't you say?
Without a doubt. Federer's journey is a testament to the power of self-belief and discipline and the relentless pursuit of self-improvement. Those qualities, combined with his natural talent, are what allowed him to achieve such extraordinary things.
This story is so captivating, and we've only just begun to scratch the surface. For our listeners who are loving this deep dive, don't forget to hit that subscribe button to make sure you don't miss out on the rest of Federer's incredible journey. Now back to his career. We've talked about his style, his rivals, and his mental fortitude. But what about the trophies? How did those translate into tangible achievements on the court?
When you combine that level of talent, dedication, and mental strength, the trophies are bound to follow. Federer racked up a staggering 20 Grand Slam titles, including a record 8 Wimbledon championships. These wins weren't just about numbers. They cemented his legacy as one of the greatest tennis players of all time.
Those are some incredible achievements. But I think what really sets Federer apart is that his impact extends far beyond the court. He became a global icon, a symbol of excellence and sportsmanship.
You're absolutely right. Federer's influence goes beyond wins and losses. He was voted fan favorite by ATP fans a record 19 times, a testament to his charisma and the connection he forged with audiences worldwide.
That's remarkable. It speaks to his personality and the way he carried himself both on and off the court. He always seemed to embody a sense of grace and humility, even in the face of incredible success. Was that something he consciously cultivated, or was it just an inherent part of who he is?
It's hard to say for sure, but I think it's a combination of both. Federer certainly had natural charisma, but he also seemed to understand the importance of being a role model, of using his platform to inspire others. He consistently demonstrated respect for his opponents, the game itself, and the fans who adored him.
And that influence extended beyond the fans, didn't it? He inspired a whole generation of young players to pick up a racket and dream of emulating his style and success.
Absolutely. You could see it in the way young players modeled their games after him adopting his one-handed backhand and striving for that same level of elegance and precision. His impact on the sport is immeasurable.
Speaking of impact, his retirement in September 2022 was a monumental moment. It felt like the end of an era, not just for tennis, but for sports in general.
It was a poignant moment, witnessing a legend step away from the game he had dominated for so long. But what's interesting is that his retirement didn't diminish his influence. In some ways, it amplified it.
No, how so?
Well, think about it. His absence from the court created a void, a space for a new generation of players to step up and define their own legacies. His retirement became a catalyst for change, a challenge for the sport to evolve and adapt in his absence.
That's a fascinating perspective. It's like his departure created a vacuum that pulled new talent and new narratives into the spotlight. Do you think anyone can truly fill the shoes of Roger Federer? I mean, can anyone replicate what he achieved?
That's the big question, isn't it? It's unlikely we'll see another player with the same combination of talent, charisma, and longevity. But that's the beauty of sport. New stars will emerge, new rivalries will ignite, and the story of tennis will continue to unfold in unexpected ways.
So while Federer's playing career is over, his influence is still very much alive. His legacy isn't just about the records he broke or the titles he won. It's about the way he inspired us, both on and off the court.
Precisely. His legacy is multifaceted. It's about the elegance and artistry he brought to the game, the sportsmanship he embodied, and the way he used his platform to make a positive impact on the world.
And speaking of making an impact, we haven't even touched on his philanthropic work and his efforts to give back to the community.
That's an important aspect of his story. Federer's Foundation has done incredible work in Africa, focusing on early childhood education and providing opportunities for children in underserved communities.
That's truly inspiring. It shows that his commitment to excellence extends beyond the tennis court into making a real difference in the lives of others. It's a reminder that true greatness is measured not just by what you achieve for yourself, but by how you use your success to uplift those around you.
Well said. Federer's story is ultimately one of human potential, of pushing boundaries and striving for something greater than yourself. It's a story that resonates far beyond the world of sports, offering valuable lessons for us all.
Absolutely. His journey reminds us that greatness is not just about talent. It's about dedication, resilience, and an unwavering belief in your own abilities. It's about embracing challenges, overcoming setbacks, and using your platform to inspire positive change.
And as we reflect on Federer's incredible career, it's worth considering what his legacy will mean for the future of tennis. With the Big Three era coming to a close, how will the sport evolve in his absence?
That's a great question. Will new rivalries emerge that captivate the world in the same way? Will we see new playing styles dominate the game?
Only time will tell. But one thing is certain. Federer's impact will continue to be felt for generations to come. He raised the bar both on and off the court, and his legacy will continue to inspire players and fans alike to strive for excellence in all its forms.
It's been a privilege to dive into his story, to unpack the layers of his success, and understand the depth of his impact. I feel like I've learned so much, not just about tennis, but about what it means to be a true champion in life.
Me too. Federer's journey is a testament to the power of human potential and the enduring impact of a life lived with purpose and passion.
As we wrap up this deep dive, I'm curious to hear what resonates most with our listeners. What aspects of Federer's story stand out to you? What lessons do you take away from his remarkable journey?
Yeah, it's amazing to think about the ripple effect of his career, how he's shaped not just the game itself, but the aspirations of so many people around the world.
And that brings us to a thought-provoking question about the future of tennis. We've talked about the big three, Federer, Nadal, Djokovic, and their dominance over the past 2 decades. Now, with Federer retired and the others nearing the end of their careers, what happens next? It does feel like we're on the cusp of a new era, like a changing of the guard. What will that look like? Will we see a new big three emerge, or will tennis become more fragmented with multiple players vying for the top spot?
That's the million-dollar question. It's possible that a new generation of superstars will rise to fill the void left by the big three, creating new rivalries and captivating storylines. But it's also conceivable that tennis will enter a more unpredictable phase with greater parity among the top players.
That would certainly make things interesting. Imagine a tennis landscape where anyone has a shot at winning a Grand Slam, where the competition is fierce and the outcomes are less predictable.
It would be a thrilling time to be a tennis fan. We could see a wider variety of playing styles emerge, with players specializing in different aspects of the game. We might even see a resurgence of the one-handed backhand inspired by Federer's legacy.
That would be a fitting tribute to his impact on the game. It's fascinating to think that even in retirement, Federer's influence could continue to shape the evolution of tennis.
Yeah, his impact is undeniable. He's left an indelible mark on the sport, not just through his achievements, but through the values he embodied. Sportsmanship, grace, humility, and a relentless pursuit of excellence.
And those values extend far beyond the tennis court. They're lessons we can all apply to our own lives, regardless of our chosen field.
Absolutely. Federer's journey is a reminder that success isn't just about talent or luck. It's about hard work, dedication, and a willingness to push yourself beyond your comfort zone. It's about embracing challenges, learning from setbacks, and never giving up on your dreams.
It's been an incredible journey exploring the life and legacy of Roger Federer. From his humble beginnings in Switzerland to his rise as a global icon, his story is filled with inspiration, insight, and a whole lot of amazing tennis.
It's been a privilege to delve into his world and unpack the elements that made him so extraordinary. We've seen the power of self-belief, the importance of discipline, and the transformative nature of pursuing your passions with relentless dedication.
And as we close out this deep dive, we want to leave you with a final thought. What aspects of Federer's journey resonate most with you? What lessons will you carry with you as you navigate your own path to success?
Remember, like Federer, you have the power to shape your own destiny, embrace challenges, chase your dreams, and never underestimate the impact you can have on the world.
Thanks for joining us on this incredible journey through the world of Roger Federer. Until next time, keep striving for greatness both on and off the court.